Hi there. For this video, we'll be discussing about the slope-intercept form of a line. So recall in the previous video that we have shown that just by knowing the slope as well as the y-intercept, we can find the equation of the given line. That is given by y equals mx plus b, wherein m out here represents the slope, while b out here represents the y-intercept. Together, this equation is known as the slope-intercept form. To formally state this, we'll be going on the next slide. So the equation of a line with slope m and y-intercept b is given by this form out here. So this is the form that you need to remember. To understand how we arrived with this one, I'll be showing a mini proof on how to get this. So we start by letting x and y be a point. More specifically, we let this point be a point on the given line such that this point xy is not equal to the given y-intercept. The reason for that is because we want to get the slope using the y-intercept and another point. So if they are the same, then we can't really get the slope of the given line. So given that, by slope formula, we know that m is equal to the change in y over the change in x. Using up our given points, we can set this to be x sub 1, this to be y sub 1, this to be x sub 2, and this to be y sub 2. So the slope is given by y minus b all over x minus 0, or simply y minus b over x. So if you're confused at this part, you may check out my video regarding slopes to understand how we arrived with this formula out here. Now from here, focusing on the leftmost side of the equation and the rightmost side of the equation, we can multiply x both sides to eliminate this denominator. And And take note that we can do this since we know that our given point out here again is not equal to the y-intercept. So we know that x out here, x cannot be equal to 0. So multiplying x both sides gives us mx equals y minus b. And by this time, you might probably know or figure out what we'll do next. We'll simply be adding b both sides to obtain y equals mx plus b. And again, since x and y are just arbitrary points, then it's like we can treat this point, these coordinates, as the variables. Therefore, we arrive with what we want. So that is a mini proof on how to get or how we obtained the slope-intercept form of a line. Let's now try some examples applying this newfound knowledge. But first, feel free to pause the video if you want, so that you can try these examples for yourself, or you can also pause along the way if there are parts that you're having a hard time grasping. So let's start with this. So given the slope m equals 5 and the y-intercept 5 over 2, we need to find the equation of the line in first the slope-intercept form. So again, from above, we know that the slope-intercept form is given by y equals mx plus b. Since we are given the slope and the y-intercept, then this is simply given by y equals m is 5, x plus our y-intercept is 5 over 2. This out here is the answer for this first sub-item. How about the standard form? Recall that in the previous video, the standard form is given by ax plus by equals c, wherein the x and y are the variables and a, b, and c are integers with a, let's put some emphasis on this, with a being positive. So given that, how do we obtain the standard form? Since we are already given with the slope-intercept form, we'll use this to obtain the standard form. So from this out here, since we want integers, then what we can do is we can multiply both sides by 2 out here. That will give us 2y equals 10x plus 5. So all of these are already integers and we don't have any fractions anymore. The next step is to obtain this form now. So we can do is we can move 10x to the left, and that will give us negative 10x plus 2y equals 5. But since we want the constant or the coefficient of x to be positive, we still need to multiply both sides by -1. This will give us 10x minus 2y equals -5. And this out here is the standard form of the given line. So I hope you got that one right. Let's go on to this second and final example. So we are tasked to rewrite the equation, this one, 5 over 4x minus 2y equals 7, into its slope-intercept form. Moreover, we need to give its slope and y-intercept. So again, you may pause the video so that you can try to work on this one. Let's start. So from the given, we have here 5 over 4x minus 2y equals 7. We recall that the form of the slope-intercept is given by y equals mx plus b. So we know that a key factor in this one is that the coefficient of y must be equal to 1. So how do we do this? Well, we can do is we can multiply -1/2 both sides. By doing that, we'll have here -5 over 8x. Then the coefficient of y will become 1. And this one is equal to -7 over 2. Lastly, we know that y must be isolated in one side of the equation. So moving -5 over 8x to the right will give us, let's put it out here, y equals 5 over 8x minus 7 over 2. To be clearer, we can write this one as plus -7 over 2. So this one out here is already in slope-intercept form. Next, we need to find the slope and the y-intercept. Fortunately, in slope-intercept form, the slope is already given by this one, and the y-intercept is already given by this one. Therefore, we know that the slope is given by m equals 5 over 8, and the y-intercept is given by -7 over 2. So, this out here is our final answer. I hope you got that one. To end this, here is an exercise that you can work on. So in this exercise, we are tasked to find the equation of the line in slope-intercept form of this one out here. And this is a nice practice since this is what we wanted all along. We wanted to convert a graph to an equation of the line. In this case, our first equation of the line is the slope-intercept form. So just a hint on how to solve this. to get the slope-intercept form, we need to write the equation in the form y equals mx plus b. So our problem is m and b. Now the y-intercept is obvious in the graph. I won't say why because I think it's pretty clear. Then our problem will be the slope. Fortunately, we have a given point out here. So using this given point as well as the y-intercept, you'll use these two given points to figure out how to get the slope of the line. So I hope you got that one, and that's it. So feel free to comment down below any comments, suggestions, recommendations that you have for this video as well as the future videos for this channel. So I hope you enjoyed that one, and that's it. That is all for this video.